Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Gosh. Oh, you know what? Grandkids are just this amazing little thing that we had she's our youngest 7-year-old over yesterday. She's coloring at the table, and Jan's baking cookies, and I just gotten back from doing some running around. I'm talking to her in a very low voice, not whispering, but a very low voice where I didn't think she could hear. And I said something to the effect as I was at the feed store, and of course they have the new baby chicks for spring, and they weren't letting them pet them today, but if someone took her over tomorrow, she could pick them up and play with them a little bit. And she goes, "Chickens? I like chickens." Oh, they hear everything. You think they don't hear? Oh yeah, she was diligently coloring it. Yeah, these were open. Yeah. All right. Cola-flavored Jell-O. Was introduced in 1942, but flopped and was discontinued within a year. Other failed Jell-O flavors: celery, chocolate, coffee, and apple. Okay. All right, we do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. Woohoo! And John said, "I believe in God, but not as one thing. Not as an old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe that what Jesus, Muhammad, and Buddha, and all the rest said was right. It's just the translation that's gone wrong." And George, a house is just a place to keep stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Yeah. Right. Things that make you go, as Arsenio Hall would say, like what, 25 years ago or some stupid things? I know, it just absolutely does not seem. It seems like it was just yesterday. Scary thought. A bore is a man who deprives you of solitude without providing you with company. He who is slowest in making a promise is most faithful in its performance. Well, probably true. No, I promise I'll do that for you. The soul without imagination is what an observatory would be without a telescope. Ta-da. Oh, t-shirts and sweatshirts. It's got a picture of a cow with a seat on top and a sock on its foot. Hillbilly motorcycle, Kawasaki. I saved someone's life today. Well, I resisted the urge to strangle the life out of the idiot, so pretty much the same thing. I'm not an alcoholic, I'm a sober-phobic. Okay. Being the black sheep of the family is like being famous. Everyone is always talking about you. Could be good, yeah, you never know, Hey, St. Patrick's Day. See? Yeah. I'm Irish, about as Irish as you get. You know, oh yeah. Do you know this is one of the few times in history that Ireland is like together. They're not arguing, they're one nation. Cool. Keep it up, guys and girls. Little kids, first grade teachers would give them a proverb and have them finish it. Okay? Don't bite the hand that looks dirty. No news is impossible. A miss is as good as a mister. You can't teach an old dog new math. If you lie down with dogs, you'll stink in the morning. Love all, trust me. You want to talk about the expo? Expo's coming up. Yeah. Super important. Volunteers. We need volunteers because we can't do it without volunteers. But we're going to be talking more about that here in a minute.
Absolutely. We have a cookie social right after church today. It's going to be for a volunteer sign up. And I think, is Mary Lou going to talk
So
about
if you've already eaten a cookie, you have to sign up now.
Yeah. I noticed that they covered them in the back there. They must have been getting into them before church. So, yeah, right after church. So come see us in the back there. Is that where we're going to meet, in the back? Okay. Mary Lou will talk about that in a bit. Right? Is that, am I understanding?
Somebody will.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay, we'll figure it out. Booth space are full except for I have 2 spots, and so we're kind of finagling things around to try to see. I have a guy who has contacted me who wants to do spas, hot tubs. We've never had that in our expo before. He needed a 10 by 20 at least, and so we've kind of figured it out, and I've emailed him. So we'll see. We may have some
So
spas.
is he actually going to have a small spa there?
Yes, 2. I think he said 2. So he
Very
needed,
small.
He needed 10, at least he said a 10 by 20. So we've tried to accommodate this and see about having a spa guy. But a lot of different new people. It's going to be so exciting. We need volunteers, volunteers, volunteers. It takes an army to put this all together. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate every single person who helps in whatever little way you can.
But with an army, each person doesn't have to do a whole bunch.
No, that's it. You know, the more we
Couple
have,
hours.
the less you have to do. But we really appreciate all of you guys' help. So, lectures. Do we need to speak about lectures? If anybody wants to do, not a lecture, but a seminar.
I think they're full, right, Sandra?
Seminars are full. Are they full, Sandra? She doesn't know.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay. So anyway, just contact us if you're interested in knowing more about it. Flyers and stuff are going to be, we have advertisements already out in the Entertainer, is that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So
Weird. We'll
I
have
see.
ads in Tumble Weird this year.
Tumble Weird. Yes. We heard about Tumble Weird, and so we've got an ad going out in that. So it's a magazine or is it like a paper publication?
And it's all local.
And it's all weird. I know, we fit perfectly into that.
Weird local. Woo, perfect.
All right, so I think that's all I have to say. Please join us after church if you can, and we'll talk to you about signing up.
Be sure to share on Facebook, that really.
Oh, we do. We have a
I
face.
know.
But yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for saying
share.
something.
If you see the pictures come through about it, share it to your
Or like,
page.
I guess.
Like it, yep. It shows
Anything
up.
you do helps with that promotion.
Yeah.
People asking about it, tell them to go there. So, yes, thank you for that.
I think that's everything.
Cool. Why does a round pizza come in a square box? What disease did cured ham actually have? How is it that we put a man on the moon before we figured out how to put wheels on luggage? Why is it that people say slept like a baby when babies wake up every 2 hours? Oh. I remember what I was going to do. I remember. Attending a wedding for the first time, a little girl whispered to mother, "Why is the bride dressed in white?" "Well, because white is the color of happiness, and today is the happiest day of her life." The child thought about that for a moment and then said, "So why is the groom wearing black?" A little girl dressed in her Sunday best was running as fast as she could, trying not to be late for Bible class. As she ran, she prayed, "Dear Lord, please don't let me be late. Dear Lord, please don't let me be late." While she was running and praying, she tripped on a curb and fell, getting her clothes dirty and tearing her dress. She got up, brushed herself off, started running again, and as she ran, she once again prayed, "Dear Lord, please don't let me be late, and please don't shove me either." So Mary was kind enough to send me a good St. Patrick's Day joke, and I left it at home. No matter how many times I put it out, put things on it, and I still walked off without it. Imagine that. But I kind of sort of remember it. I think I got the gist of the whole thing. So, 3 guys were stranded on a desert island. And, of course, they're not knowing what to do, and a genie appeared. So they all got one wish.
Leprechaun.
That's right. Well, of course it would have to be a leprechaun. Thank you. Otherwise it wouldn't be St. Patrick's Day. Should I start over or just keep going? I'll just keep going. A leprechaun appeared and gave them one wish. And the one guy thought for a minute and he says, "I want to be an athlete." like a good swimmer. So, poof, he was a good athlete and a swimmer, so he swam to shore. Second one said, I want to be an architect, so maybe I can build a bridge and I can get over. So, poof, he was an architect. He built this real simple but bridge very quickly, and he walked to the mainland. Third person said, I want to be smart. Thought about it for a second. Poof, he was a woman, and she walked across the bridge. Close enough?
Good point.
Yeah, occasionally I remember jokes, not very often. All right. John Denver, The Gift You Are. Any of you that don't know John Denver because you're just too young, really check him out. If you like folk songs, he's just got the sound. He was the main man back in the day for me.
He wrote some beautiful music.
That's lovely. Thank you, Mr. Phil. Oh, I need to do that. Never mind. We're going to do the chime, Phil? Or not. May as well, right? How many people have not heard of Long yet?
Whoa.
Does that feel good? Yes, you do. How many people saw that coming?
That's good.
What was that?
Always adrenaline.
Well, now, thank you very much, Phil. You got them all spelled out. Actually, I have no problem with that. Let's do a prayer. Loving Spirit of light, grant us strength. Grant us grace. Grant us power. Help us to step into the gift that we are. Help us to move beyond our own imaginings of our weaknesses and step into the light of the love that we really are. Help us to shine brightly. Help us to be a beacon. Walk with us in all things. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Apparently this was not the prayer that was coming out, so we'll just wing it. All right, Mr. Phil, you think you can get that document up? So I'm going to be sending out an email this coming week that will have volunteer positions on it, and we're going to have computers set up in the back so that you can sign up right away. And
The other one, Phil.
the other one, Phil. And do the other one, Phil? Okay, so this is what it'll look like. Can you see that? So this is what your page will look like. You'll have, like this is for our readers. And so the times are listed. So you have reader table 1, 11 to 1. So if you decide, oh, I want to do that, and I'll go over all the different positions here in a second. Then you click on it, Phil, or hit this little arrow. Any of them? Click. And then you just sign up. First name, last name, your email. Your volunteer coordinator will have that. And then your phone number. And then you make sure you're not a robot. And then you agree and sign up. What this will do is then it will ping your phone. We'll send out reminders once a week till Expo. And then the week of Expo, you'll get a reminder on Thursday. So we probably won't give you a reminder day of. Maybe we will, I don't know. I don't think we've got so many other things going on. This is your reminder. Put it in your calendar. Suit up, show up. Yes, sir. Question?
So I can't volunteer if I'm a robot?
No. No robots yet. Now, this does not mean an emotional robot. Emotional robots can still show up and do answer. Okay. So if you have any questions on that, Mary Lou is the expert. She's teaching me how to do this. I am clueless. Okay, so that's good, Phil.
Jan, well, and that sheet right there, when you see two headings, if you see healer schedule, one is for Saturday, one is for Sunday. So anything you see that looks like it's doubled, like silent auction volunteer schedule, and then another line, the same thing, it's like, what's that? Well, one's for Saturday, one's for Sunday.
Right.
It wouldn't let me put the days on that part, but when you open up the link, it'll say Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah. So she couldn't put Saturday silent auction, Sunday silent auction. But once you open it, you'll see. Okay? So if it's not what you want, click out of it. Try again. All right. And so we'll answer questions as you go along. So that should do that. Let me give you an idea of what we're doing. There's over 300 man hours that we do every year. And that's not counting what Valerie and I have done ahead of time. So that's just the volunteers at the Expo.
7 in the morning to 6 at night.
7 in the morning till 6 at night. I mean, it's just crazy. So, but here's the thing, that, yeah,
Before we leave that, is there somebody to contact at those, when you click on that, of who's in charge of that?
it's listed, who's in charge is listed on that. Yes, sir?
Contact.
Yeah, that contact information is there, and they will get your name and number, and they will contact you to confirm and all of that. Make sense? So
But
it's
if
both
I have a
ways.
question, who do I go to?
It's on that sheet.
Okay.
So can you get, so,
Well, I was gonna say that the load up actually is for Friday. That load up is Friday, not Saturday.
Oh, okay, I'll change it.
okay,
And
all
will
right.
you go back to the main one, Phil, and click on seminars?
Would you go to the main one and click on seminars, Phil, in case if you can?
This one?
Yeah, seminars. Okay, see, Sandra Kettle and your email and your phone number. If they click on that, they'll get your whole phone number. So they can find you, and then you will get a copy of this sent to you, and you can find them. Make sense? So on Thursday night, here's how that, it's just crazy. So Thursday night, we meet at the hotel and put tape on the floor so that every vendor knows where they go. This is absolutely vital, because otherwise it's massive chaos. William's in charge of that. Usually we meet around, what time do we meet? Isn't it, what is it?
I
Whenever
don't
they-
have a
Whenever
time.
they let us in.
Whenever they let us in. I think we were there
So we
like
have to
4 or
check
5 or
with the
something.
hotel, yeah.
They've just blocked it out for us this
Okay.
year.
And so, yeah, so Thursday,
Thursday,
uh,
early evening.
yeah.
And again, we can send reminders.
Thursday afternoon,
Change,
whatever.
we can change the dates on these things and it'll automatically send reminders
Whatever
that
they
will.
can let us
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So,
So, and that just takes a couple of hours. William's got this down to a science, so measuring tape's going crazy, bunch of people, and it's really kind of fun.
And we clear and grid with the crystal.
That's next thing, that's next thing.
Okay.
So, but that's Thursday night. Friday night, we load up here at the church. So William has this big, huge truck thing, trailer. Sorry, I didn't have the right word. And so Lori and other people put everything that we need to take with us from silent auction, everything in the back, and then we just load it out. Yes, ma'am?
Is that Friday morning?
Friday morning.
You said Friday night, so Friday morning.
Friday morning, Thursday night we tape. Friday morning at 7, we load up here, take it to the hotel, and at 8 o'clock we unload it at the hotel, and we set up the church booths, and we do blessing, so that's a whole other thing. So the Friday blessing is from 9 to noon, And what we do is Mary Lilga and Sharon Steele have these little crystal things, glass things. We put crystals and rocks and sea salt in them. And then we put them around the room and we offer a blessing. Sometimes we drum, sometimes we don't. So that's a beautiful sacred thing if you want to participate in that. So that's as soon as you can on Saturday morning. And then we get the church
Friday morning.
Friday morning. Thank you. Then we have ticket takers. This year we have 2 sets of ticket takers because we had people sneaking in the back door like crazy last year. And so we have another booth set up by the deli, and we have the regular one in the front. So we need 2 people in each of those. That's a bunch of
No
people.
stamps this year,
And we have
wristbands.
wristbands. Yay! So if you see somebody without a wristband, send them out. Oh, go get a wristband.
Snap bracelet.
Well, snap bracelet. Yeah, no, make it come off easy. So, just because it's just been crazy. So they'll have a wristband. That wristband gets them back in the next day. Vendors have a different color wristband. Volunteers will have a different color wristband. And people coming through the door as guests will have a different wristband. So you can identify who's who and what's what. Make sense? But we need a couple of ticket takers for each ticket booth. And I'm only making, and it's only a couple of hours. So you volunteer here for a couple of hours, you can volunteer there a couple of hours, volunteer over there a couple of hours, and in the meantime, see the show. It's just really, ends up really good. We'll need people to assist in the drum circle. We take Grandfather Drum, and there's 4 people that will sit around Grandfather Drum when we do a circle up before our show. That sets the energy. Before we do that drum circle, I lead us in a blessing for all of the vendors and an energy circle. Because I don't know if you've ever been to other psychic shows, but they're really competitive. And they're really not necessarily a fun thing. But our show is. Our show is just love, and we're very careful. Val is very careful to make sure people who are non-competitive can come in. Now they may have same things, but they're so different that it's like a whole new unique thing. So even our readers are so different one from another that it's not competition. And we're unique that way. So we lovingly support our vendors in that journey. And so as we get even the vendors in the energy circle, and we build energy for one another and for each other and for the expo. So the energy circle, and then right after that we do drumming. So bring your drum first thing in the morning, and last thing we close with the drumming. So that's wonderful. Both days we'll need volunteers for that. Healers. We're hoping to do something a little different with our healers this year to highlight some of your healing modalities. So we have a couple of healers at different time slots in the day. So sign up for that if you do a healing modality, and if you have a unique healing modality, let us know, and we'll highlight that for you. Silent auction. We have setup that we do before the expo starts, and then those things really require maintenance during the day.
And we need silent auction items, right?
Silent auction items, anything lightly used or brand new. And guy stuff goes really well, people like that. So please bring items in that.
We just got some tackle boxes full of tackle.
Ooh, tackle boxes full of tackle. And then seminars. So if you want to have seminars, we need someone to run to the vendor and say, hey, your lecture is up in 10 minutes. Wrap up what you're doing. And then they go get to the lecture, and then once they're in the lecture, then they hold up signs and let them know, you got 10 minutes, you got 5 minutes, time's up, get out. So we need people to do that, because
They get a big
otherwise
hook, they can drag them off. They have.
we don't have a big hook. So
I'll get one.
okay. And then I usually man the Divine Fellowship booth. But I do have lecture times that I'm using this year, so I need people to sit with me, help me out. People walk by, we give them information, flyers, that sort of thing, and just generally welcome them. So
Don't they-
I'll
don't
need
they
help with
sign
that.
up there and pay for their readings and healings?
Yeah, they pay for their readings and healings at that group, so we need somebody who could do that. The kids' activities, Lori instigated this several years ago. Is instigate the right word? Instigated, I think it's about the same. So the kids make prayer sticks and they color mandalas, and even adults go and play in that area too. So, but we need people to come and sit with the kids and kind of give them instructions on that sort of thing. Set up for Sunday services, we need that, is really important. And then we're doing the food for food bank. You know, if you bring in a can of food or a non-perishable, then you get $1 off your admission, and you can bring in a pet food item as well. So anything like that, they get the discount, and then Lori makes sure that the food is stashed at night, and then picked up on Sunday. Thank you. Words were not coming. So lots to do. Volunteer often. Yes,
And
sir.
remember, services are there.
Services are there. And you know, it's really ends up being really fun. You know, I mean, we're hanging out with not only people we know and love, but new people we know and love. There's always a few odd ducks, but you know, what's new about that? Yes, ma'am.
Anything about Charles?
Charles Lightwalker, he's not going to be here. Charles Lightwalker had a stroke. He's back to work part-time, but he's not full-time enough to do our show for a whole weekend. So we're hoping next year he'll be back. There was somebody else that was ill, wasn't there? It seems like there was somebody else that wasn't ill. I don't remember.
One of the artists.
One of the artists.
Greg
yeah.
Ashby.
Greg Ashby, yes.
Yeah.
You know, he,
The other way,
I can't talk and do this. Yeah, Greg Ashby had complications from diabetes, and he had amputation on both legs. So one below the knee and one above the knee. So he's not going to get it. But his teammates were stepped up and took over his booth, and they brought in a new gal who is actually going to do sketches of your spirit guides. So how fun is that? How fun is that? So we've got a lot of new fun stuff. It's going to be a hoot. Going to be a blast. So, again, stay for cookies and sign-ups
And,
after services.
and
Yes.
volunteers get in free.
Volunteers get in free, unless you just want to donate $5 to the church. Why not? I'd almost rather you spend your money on buying stuff from our vendors, because the better they do, the more likely they are to come back. Yes, ma'am.
I'll tell what my seminar is going to be. We're going to make room sprays, essential oil room
Essential
sprays.
oil room sprays. Nice. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. I'm going to do my lecture. I'm going to do one on, see if I can get the title right. Can't get the title right. I think it's something like Quest for Awakening. Quest for Awakening. Because I'm writing a book about Dream Quest. And I'm going to be teaching a class on Dream Quest. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and where that all came from. Really fun. And then Sunday I'm going to do not only church, but do a Ancient Ones. So channel some Ancient Ones on Sunday afternoon. So that'll be fun.
Yes.
That'll be fun. What? Lots of stuff. Man, there's more stuff than you can see in 2 days. But you're going to try. Oh, and we also I need one more set of runners, because I think last year we were just this short on our food. We have to purchase X amount of dollars worth of food, otherwise they charge us for everything.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to get menus to all of the vendors, and then we need runners to go to the vendors and say, what do you want? And they'll check off what they want, and we'll take their money and bring them their food.
Awesome.
Wouldn't that be nice? So, because we just need a little more, and they've got a new chef. New chef, people in video land, new chef. And so we've got some new stuff happening in the food department, so it should be really good. Yes, sir?
And if somebody doesn't know what category they want to sign up for, just sign up as a general volunteer.
Do you have a general volunteer page?
Not really. So.
Yeah, she does. She has a general volunteer,
Oh, okay.
and we'll work with you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Because there's, like Roy, it's just, I'm gonna be there, just put me wherever you want.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. So if you just wanna do that, that's great. Well, I think Shannon would like a videographer. If somebody wants to do that, I think I forgot that. I think it's not there.
No, it's on there.
Is it?
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so forgive me if I have forgotten anything. And we'll all work it out. It all ends up working out just fine in the end. The reason we put this expo on is because there are people in this community that are seeking. And they don't know that we exist. We kind of keep a really low profile. And part of that, there's a reason for that, and part of that is that when people find us, that's when they're ready to find us. And part of that is that we don't want masses, we want open hearts. So when the heart is ready, they'll find us. Make sense?
Yep.
So as a result of it being as low-key as it is, then this event is an opportunity for people to have their awareness tweaked. And to go, well, maybe, I don't know, I might be. I have to laugh. Lynn and her friend Tracy, when they first came to the expo, they're, well, we'll probably go to hell, but let's go anyway. Right. So, you know, it's scary for people. It's really scary to look at all this stuff that we just think is normal. But they might, maybe, I don't know. How do I feel about it? I don't know. So it's wonderful to have this venue where they can come in, relax, have some fun. There's no judgment. Nobody's pressuring them to do anything or join anything. They can just be and sample a few things. And that's a wonderful opportunity. I don't know how you got to the Divine Fellowship, but Tracy and Lynn, Mary Lilka, Lori Miller, there's a lot of people that are here because they discovered us at the expo, right? So this is our opportunity to just be a safe haven for an inquiring mind. So your volunteer efforts isn't about, let's put on this show and let's show off. No. This is about creating a sacred space and allowing people to come in and just try, just sample, just take a look. When I was first exploring all of this stuff, it was really scary for me. Phil and I went to a psychic show at, I don't remember, I think it was a Red Lion in Pasco. And they wanted $15 per head to get in. I thought, no, I don't need to know that much. But for $5 or $6, you can walk through the door and take a look.
Yeah.
And if you walk through the door and you're met with, our vendors are amazing, they're wonderful. You know, the crystal people, and they're knowledgeable, and they're just joyful, and it's just a beautiful experience. So people get a flavor of that they've never had before. So it's such a blessing. So it's not just about suit up and show up because I told you to. This is just such a gift. Again, that song, The Gift You Are. It's beautiful. And with that said, Matthew 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. You really are. When we shine, you can feel it. Can't you feel it when somebody is lit from within? And you can feel when there's a hurting heart and they're searching and they're seeking. And you just get this connection. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I think when we walk in, I heard something. When you walk into the sanctuary, you feel that same thing. People will walk through the door, visitors will walk through the door and go, well, this is different. You can feel it from the door. And there are people who have walked in the door and go, and walked out. Because they couldn't do it. They couldn't handle it. It didn't feel right for them. And that's okay. But like minds and like hearts are drawn to each other. Like a moth to a flame. And there are people that are seeking and searching for the joy that we have. There's so much pain in the world, is there not? Are you in pain? Sometimes. But the pain doesn't define you. The light defines you. And because the light defines you, pain has no foothold. It's just a thing that you're experiencing, something that you're going through. Because our mind and our feelings can be really deceptive. Our mind gets caught up in that mental monkey brain and tells us stuff like we're not worthy, we're not good enough, nobody likes you, you look at all the times you failed. I mean, our brain does that. And the reason the brain does that is because it's trying to help us be safe. It's trying to help us be small. Because if you're small in a jungle, nothing big will get you if you're tiny, right? Well, we don't have to live in a jungle. We're not primeval. There's no saber-toothed tigers roaming around anymore. But the brain still has that back primitive mind that is the underlying program. And it takes conscious awareness to move beyond that programming. Because the programming is just trying to make us safe. But the programming will look at our life experiences and judge it and send us a feeling about that. So we'll feel sad, or feel angry, or feel frustrated. And then the brain and the feelings feel so strong, it's like, well, that must be true. But it's not truth. It's just the primitive mind trying to keep us safe. When we move into the truth of who we really are, and the truth of what we came here to do, and the truth about our existence, of being this being of light that is here to find love, find joy, find peace, find courageousness, find gratitude. When we get into that state of mind, then the trauma that we've experienced in our lifetime, or we are experiencing, is just something we're going through. And the truth of that softens the untruth that our brain and our feelings have presented to us as truth. And they're so strong, we buy it. Don't we buy that stuff? We buy into that. Oh, you're not good enough. If you hear that, the first thing that comes to your ear I would like it to be, fear is a liar. Because it's just fear lying to you so you stay small. Don't try. And how many times has staying small and not trying made you happy? Ever? No. It might have kept you kind of, sort of, maybe safe. But it doesn't really help you be safe. It just makes you small. So stepping into the truth of who you are the light of the world. Now this is not saying you're the light of the world only if you're perfect. No. The light has been gifted to you. It inhabits you. It's there. Shine. Now you have a choice. You can hide that light, because here's what it says. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. If you got a city up on the hill, man, day or night you're going to see that sucker. Nor do men light a lamp and put it under a peck measure. You don't put a basket over it. Remember the little kid? It's the light of my I don't remember the words to that. I'm gonna let it shine.
Hide it under a bushel now.
Hide it under a bushel. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan get out. You didn't learn that one in school, did you? But don't we? We let Satan get out. Shine. We can choose to hide that light. It's still there. You can't get rid of it. It's there. If you're breathing, it's there. When you're not breathing and you pass from this life, that life returns to eternity with divine source. But if you're breathing, you got it. Let it shine. Mr. Phil, would you join me? Come, please.
Janice?
Yes, ma'am.
Even in